Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy Monday. Every Monday, we hang out with you right here on YouTube, answering your cruise questions as we hang out together and talk about what I think is the most important thing in the whole wide world, which is, yes, going on a Royal Caribbean cruise. Thank you for joining us here. Always appreciate you being part of the fun. And we're going to get a lot of questions today. I mean, people are going to ask us a lot of questions, but the most important is how many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise. Type your countdown in chat. Let's count down together. I just realized that my countdown is, I believe, about 38 days or so. We're going on Independence of the Seas. Quick 3-night cruise, but that'll be fun. It's always nice to as a Floridian to be able to just get away for a little bit, spend the weekend in the Bahamas, and come on back. So welcome, everybody. Glad to have all of you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate it. We actually had a super chat to start us off today. I can't show it on the screen, but it was from Barry Cox. Barry, thank you for the super chat. And I just lost it. Are you kidding me? Oh, there it is. Traveling on our first Royal Caribbean cruise at the end of the month on Mariner in the Royal Suite. Any perks we might not be aware of? Barry, thank you for the super chat. So the Royal Suite, which is basically the most opulent suite on Royal Caribbean's Mariner of the Seas, its size is its own reward, I guess. There isn't like a Royal Genie. It's not an Oasis or a Quantum class ship. You have access obviously to the concierge lounge. You'll have complimentary beverages, alcoholic beverages in the evening in the concierge lounge, or the suite lounge, whatever they call it now. You also have access to the suite deck, which is a little area on the ship for you to hang out at. So you've got some options there. But no, really, the benefits are the same. There's not really a benefit I can think of that's different between the Royal Suite and the Grand Suite, quite frankly. But it is what it is. Speaking of super chats, Josh Carruthers coming in with an epic super chat. Woo! Thank you, Josh. Good evening. 53 days till Wonder of the Seas inaugural cruise, March 4th. I will be on there as well with Josh. Josh, it's up to you and I to do a lot of bar research on that ship. We're gonna have to do some in-depth look at what's going on over there. So lots of countdowns. We love it. And of course, you can type your favorite question, your question. I don't know if it's your favorite, but type your cruise question in chat and we'll answer it for you. Suresh, hello and welcome. Are you able to take a portable Bluetooth speaker on board? You are indeed. I sometimes bring one for if we're doing like a beach day, and I want to have some tunes. Yeah, absolutely. You're totally able to do that. No problem at all. Tony Diaz, hello. Chantra, hello and welcome. Jeff Rent checking in with the super chat. Thank you, Jeff. What's the biggest difference between Mariner and Navigator post amplification? Thank you for your generosity, Jeff. The differences are very minute. We do have, by the way, a full tour of both ships on our YouTube channel if you want to check that out. It truly is. It's the biggest differences is that Navigator has hooked, Mariner has Izumi Hibachi. They're like both restaurants are in the same location on either ship. The Navigator, their ice show has a drone component to it, whereas Mariner does not. Independence. Sorry, that's not Independence. It's Navigator. What am I talking about? Never mind. Navigator has the lime and coconut. So their pool deck looks different than Mariner. Mariner has the traditional Royal Caribbean pool deck, and Navigator has a resort-style pool deck. That's the biggest differences off the top of my head. Man, I bit the side of my cheek earlier, and talking is going to be a struggle today, but we'll make it through. Stingray wants to know suite lounge versus drink package and no suite room. I don't look at it that way. I don't think you really should consider. I don't think should I stay in a suite for the drinks? The drink package allows you to get drinks anywhere. The suite lounge requires you to only get drinks while you're in the suite lounge, right? I don't look at it as a reason. The primary reason, certainly, it's an added bonus. And if you're not a big drinker, the suite lounge can be a good idea for you. But I think if you are, and you have to be a huge drinker, you don't have to be, your nickname does not have to be Big Dog in order to be able to take advantage of what the suite lounge or the drink package offers for you. I think that the drink package, if you're looking to be able to spend a lot of time hanging out at different bars, at the pool deck, at Perfect Day Coco Key, and want to have your drinks covered at one cost, that's what the drink package is all about, in my opinion. I don't necessarily, I know what you're asking, but it would be like a very tertiary component to the decision to do a suite or not, in my opinion. On a 3-night cruise, you can make an argument, but I don't think you're ever going to say it's worth it to go to suite just for the drinks that you get in the suite lounge in the evening. Hey, Faith, do you think Royal Caribbean will replace Labadee as a stop on Explorer in June? My opinion on it, I don't know. I don't know what'll happen, but until further notice, I'm telling everybody, don't assume you're going to go to Labadee. Royal Caribbean has not resumed stops at Labadee since the shutdown for whatever reason. They haven't really said. And so for that reason, I would simply say, don't assume you're going until they start going again. That's the best advice I have. It's not very good advice, but best one I got. Keith Purvis, hello and welcome. Katrina wants to know, how would I go about booking my first cruise with the Royal Caribbean? Go with a travel agent. The best advice I always have is work with a good travel agent who can help guide you through the whole process. A good travel agent, emphasis on the word good, will really make the process simpler for you, and really be your advocate, because there's a lot of decisions that are some that are very important, right? That can really make a good cruise into a great cruise. Anyway, a good travel agent is recommended. We do have a. You're going to ask, okay, well, what's a good travel agent? There's many out there, but the one that I use and personally recommend is MEI Travel. MEI Travel. Full disclosure, they're a sponsor of RoyalCraneBlog.com. But I've been using them even before they were ever a sponsor. So, next question is from TC Lovelady. Can you bring wine on board? Yes, you can bring up to 2 bottles of wine per stateroom. Doesn't matter how many people in the room, just 2 per stateroom. Put it in your carry-on luggage. And there is technically a corkage fee for opening it. If you bring it to a restaurant or a bar, very infrequently is that corkage fee actually charged, but you should be aware that it is possible. Is Harmony of the Seas amplified? No. She just came out naturally amazing, but no. Sub Zippo, what's up, Sub? Do I have to have my vaccination card before I do my early check-in? No, you don't. You do not have to. You can add that later, Sub Zippo. When you do the online check-in, something I like about it is you don't have to do every single thing at once. So, like, a great tip I have is just go in there, get your check-in time, and then back out, and you can do the other stuff later, like your passports or your vaccine information. So, no, you don't have to put that in advance. By putting that information in advance, you're saving yourself time at the terminal. Just think of it, Sub, as like taking a selfie in the app. Like, it saves you time, so you don't have to take a photo at the terminal. Same basic idea. Grumpy and V, thank you for the super chat. Happy New Year to you, Grumpy and V. 106 days till Navigator, 277 till Symphony, I believe, or Spectrum. Do you recommend upgrading from a promenade to an ocean view balcony? I mean, how much more is going to require in the upgrade? If your question is, am I going to be miserable in a promenade? No, we're actually, funny enough, we're staying in a promenade room for our next cruise on Independence of the Seas. I think it really depends on the price, and if you're doing a short cruise, I see you're going on, I believe, Navigator, and if that's like a 3-nighter, I mean, how much time do you really spend in your room, right? I would say for the right price, sure. And what's the right price? You'll know it when you see it. When you'll look at it and be like, oh my goodness, I'd be stupid not to do it, right? That's essentially the right price right there. Jim Jenkins, what's up, man? I hear a lot about WoW bands were booked on Oasis. Do they still have these bands, and are they worth it? They have not brought back the WoW bands since the pandemic, since the cruises restarted, Jim. So I love them, but they were not available when I was on Harmony of the Seas. And as far as I know, they're not available on Oasis either. WoW bands, by the way, are silicone bracelets you wear. They're kind of like magic bands at Walt Disney World, and it works in conjunction with your CPAS card. It's an optional thing you could do. Andrew wants to know, how old do you have to be to go in the nightclub? Turning 23 next Wednesday. I think I don't remember if it's 18 or 21, but you're totally fine on that. You're an old man already. You can totally go in there. So, Michael S., one of my good friends in the chat. Thank you for the super chat, Michael. I'm currently platinum and had a balcony discount applied to a future booking. Upon turning emerald, can I have the emerald discount applied? Yes, actually, you could do that. And I've had luck in the past, Michael, telling them while I'm still emerald, hey, I'm going to be balcony by the time this cruise rolls around. Can I get the balcony? Can I get the balcony discount for diamond? And they've been able to say yes. I can't promise you that will be your experience, but I remember being in next cruise and asking them, and they're like, oh yeah, no problem. So your mileage may vary on that one. Obviously, when you reprice a cruise, you reprice the entire cruise. I'm not sure you can actually just apply purely the emerald discount. I might defer to our travel agent friends in chat who might know better in this scenario, but my best advice, Michael, is to simply ask for it now. It's telling them, hey, I'm going to be that. And obviously they could rescind it later on. But yeah. The Teresa McChain, thank you for the super chat, Teresa. Does the Ultimate Dining Package cover Playmakers and John Rockets for Lunch? It does. Indeed, it does. You get a stipend for Playmakers. Johnny Rockets just covers the cover charge. Obviously, drinks like the milkshakes are not included. Jade wants to know, is Deck 10 midship a good location for rooms on Freedom. Sure, midship is always a good location for rooms. You can't, you can rarely go wrong with that. Man like bear, great name. Does everyone in a suite get the same check-in time, even if it's not in the same family? What? Does everyone in the suite get the same check-in time, even if not in the same family? If you're staying in the same suite, and when you go to do the online check-in in the Royal Caribbean app, you're gonna have an area for each single person, right? So you'll be maybe the primary, and then like if it were my family, me, my wife, and my two kids, I would have to I would have to do a check-in time for everybody in the room because we're all on the same reservation. And yes, you need to get one. Now, is it a big deal if you get the 11:38 check-in time, and then by the time you get around to getting the second or third person in the room, you can only get 12 o'clock? No, they've generally been fine with like everybody, as long as you show them at least one time earlier. That should be fine. Cruise Addicts, thank you for the super chat. Super excited for Wonder in 60 days, March 11th. I'm excited for you, man. Make sure you get it started for me going in after you. Actually, I'll be on the same cruise. I think we're on the same cruise. I mean, I booked the March 11th. I'm double booked that week, but I'm pretty sure we're going on that particular sailing as well. So hopefully we'll see you on board. Hey, Jessica, first time cruiser, welcome. We leave in February. Is it rude to ask them for a possible free upgrade? If not, how do we ask? Thanks for any help. You can ask. I would say that's probably the least likely way to actually get an upgrade. There's nothing wrong with asking, and certainly not rude. No, unless you said, hey, yo, where's my upgrade? Like, you're from the Bronx, and that's how you talk. But truly, if you want to get an upgrade, there's two more reliable ways, and it involves you paying for them. One would be you go through the Royal Up program, which is a bidding option that Royal Caribbean has. They'll contact you, usually, or your travel agent, or both, and say, hey, there's an upgrade opportunity. But that doesn't actually mean there's a room that's available. More like there is a possibility. If there was a room available, how much more would you bid for it? It's kind of weird like that. The other way, of course, is call your travel agent and say, hey, how much is to upgrade me to said room? You could do that as well. In the old days, and I'm talking like even before I started cruising, yes, you could do things like it was more commonplace to go speak to guest relations or the peer coordinator at the terminal and say, hey, are there any upgrade opportunities? And you never know. I would simply say there's nothing wrong with you asking. It's not rude at all. I would say your chances are very slim that they'll say, yes, we'll upgrade you. But have weirder things happened? Absolutely. So you never know. Let's see here. Fabian, what do I think of Wonder of the Seas? So far, it looks amazing. I cannot wait to check it out. We'll be on the first sailing March 4th. Very, very excited for that one. Beth wants to know, are you allowed to bring a bodyboard on board to bring to beach excursions? Yeah, absolutely. I don't think they have a problem with where you store it. I don't think they really care. You're not gonna don't use it on the ship. It's basically the only rule there, but I think you're totally fine. So Erin just changed from Jewel because they canceled to Oasis. So excited. Ship recommendations. Ooh, Aaron, you're gonna love the Oasis of the Seas. I mean, do as much as you can. It's when you're on an Oasis class ship, you're really focusing on the entertainment because there's a lot of things to do on board, a lot of shows to see, and the amazing dining. This would be a good ship to do the ultimate dining package if it's available for you. That's what I would recommend. So, let's see here. Yeah, Joe shared a rumor about Labadee. I will just simply say this. There's been nothing publicly stated by the company that's the case. It's just rumor and speculation, and we'll just leave it at that. Katrina wants to know, what ship do I go on for fun? I don't have, I mean, all ships. I don't know what you mean by fun, but they're all fun. I don't know how you could not have a good time. I mean, I guess you could if you were kind of a mope, but it's great. So, yeah. Let's see here. One second. Let's remove that. Our next super chat is from Dave Grossi. Dave, I see your message here. Here comes. Here's Dave's message. Thank you for the super chat, Dave. Good evening. Can you tell me the expiration date on the last EMED COVID test? I believe November is what we're seeing right now, November 21. Also, can I use them to return to the U.S. from my repositioning cruise Amsterdam in April? I believe so. I believe, and I've not tried this. I'll be perfectly honest with you, David. As much as I know about Royal Caribbean, it's as little as I know about current U.S. regulations for getting back in the country. I believe if an antigen test is acceptable, then that one is fine, as far as I know. Gwen purchased Perfect Day and a dining package prior to being notified we were moved from Harmony to Wonder. Knows my money and has been returned. Well, I need to rebook. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. Quentin wants to know, have you used the Next Cruise? And if so, what's the best benefits? Yes, I have. Next Cruise is the office on board the ship in which you can rebook another cruise or book another cruise, I should say. There are two primary benefits to booking a cruise on board a Royal Caribbean cruise ship at the Next Cruise office. Number one, reduced deposit. Number two, extra onboard credit. The price of the cruise, Quentin, is exactly the same if you're sitting at home now booking the cruise versus at Next Cruise. The difference is they'll give you extra onboard credit for booking it. So, hope that makes sense. Our next question is an epic super chat. Woo! Oh, 12 man proud. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. What's the entertainment for Wonder in the showroom and Aqua Theater? Got no. Actually, wait a minute. We do know one. We know two of the shows, Mr. 12 man proud. But beyond that, Royal Caribbean has not announced anything. By the way, the reason we know about these two shows is because Royal Caribbean's head of entertainment, Nick Weir, leaked it. So it's official, but it's not official. Anyway, two shows are going. One is going to be Intense, which is the Aqua Theater show, Intense, which has an all-female cast, and 365, the Seasons on Ice, will be the ice show. Beyond that, we have no idea what the entertainment will be on there. Gwen, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you. I don't see a message here, but I'll keep an eye out for it. Barbara, woo, thank you for the super chat. Character dancing under a roof of confetti and taking his hat off to say you are amazing. Well, thank you, Barbara. You are amazing. Thank you for your generosity. I truly appreciate you. Thank you. Sue wants to know, if you don't drink wine, can you bring a bottle or two of liquor instead? You cannot. You're not allowed to bring beer or liquor on board. The only alcohol would be wine or champagne, because champagne is the form of wine, of course. So, Vaughn, what hotels recommended Port Canaveral? We said it a great one. It was the Radisson. That wasn't bad at all. I like that one quite a bit. There's actually a brand new hotel that opened. I believe there's a Spring Hill Suites, Vaughn, that just opened up. And I really have a hard time ever not recommending a brand new hotel. It's hard to really screw that up. So, especially for like one night. So that's what I would recommend. Michael, going on Mariner March 4th, think they will cancel? I do not think they will cancel. I think certainly they have every intention of that cruise ship going. Let's see. DDD or Triple D. I'm paying for my adult grandsons, but they're on a different floor. Is it possible to combine info so I don't have to make multiple reservations, pay multiple bills? No, unfortunately not. The only way you could do that is if you all stayed in the same room, which I'm sure you don't want to do. I'm sure you love your grandsons, but you don't want to share a room with them. But no, unfortunately not. In that scenario, I hope you're booking with the travel agent. They can make it a whole lot easier on you, Triple D, because they manage all that. They'll say, I need a credit card. Okay, you want me to apply it across all three? Cool, done, all set. So, yep. Wu-Tang Life, what's up, man? Can you smoke cigars on the Lido, or is it banned due to COVID? No, that is allowed. The only place that you can't smoke anymore due to COVID is the casino. But yeah, on the port side, aka the left side of the ship, on the pool deck, you can absolutely smoke cigars or cigarettes out there. Let's see. Terry says, you are so fortunate to be able to drive your cruises. I know that. Trust me, I am a spoiled Floridian. With all that's going with canceled sailings and canceled flights, seems risky, even if you book refundable fares. The canceled cruises are very few and far between, Terry. Come on. We're talking about 3 ships because the fourth one wasn't even in service. I'm not even counting Spectrum of the Seas. They had 1 sailing canceled, and that was because of somebody on board the ship was a close contact. They weren't actually positive. Anyway, I don't think that's necessarily true, but the canceled flights, you're right. But Terry, what's my advice? I always tell you, you've been around long enough to hear this. Come in, fly in at least 1 day ahead of time. If you're truly worried about it, fly in 2 days ahead of time. If you're in a major market, if you're flying from New York, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Miami, somewhere where that has a lot of flights per day, it's less of an issue because you get one flight canceled. There's probably another flight later in the day. If you're flying from Des Moines, yeah, that's a different issue. But come in 2 days ahead of time. But again, even a day ahead of time, you're probably going to be able to get there. The airlines are having issues. I think let me put it this way. I was able to fly home from LA to Orlando. We were delayed, but that was unrelated to COVID. It was just incompetency on somebody's part in the airport. But I digress. The flights are happening. Just remember, the media always makes it look 10 times. They look for the worst scenario, the worst case possible, and they focus on that and ignore everything else that happened, right? Just keep that in mind. But you're right. It is much easier if you can drive to your cruise port. You are not wrong on that. But don't look at it as, oh gosh, I live in Tennessee. I live in New Jersey. There's no way I'm able to get to my cruise. Far from that. I think it's still very practical. Just plan accordingly. Ray wants to know, since Royal Caribbean is not going to Labadee, are they mostly going to another port, or are they adding extra sea day? I've seen them replace it with Coco Key, and I've seen them replace it with a sea day. I've seen them replace it with other ports. It kind of varies. There's not necessarily, Ray, a tried and true guaranteed pattern necessarily. Andrew wants to know, if you rebook a cruise for a lower price, the cruise planner items stay booked. Yes, as long as your reservation number does not change. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Keith Bruce. What's up, Keith? 73 days till the next cruise. When does online check-in open? You can find out for yourself, because usually around 45 days. But Keith, go to the Royal Caribbean app. Go into your reservation there. Go to check-in. It will say literally what day it opens up. Arizona Girl 66. Thank you. Welcome. My February cruise has numerous cancellations. How likely am I to get a free upgrade with my single rate reservation? Generally speak, like if you're asking, like, are you going to be sitting there and the upgrade fairy will visit you and say, hey, Arizona Girl 66, we like you so much, we're giving you an upgrade. Yeah, it's pretty unlikely. I mean, it's actually happened. I'm not saying it's not possible. In fact, I have heard of people who that happened to, but I wouldn't count on it. Certainly it's possible. But I wouldn't bet on it, but it is possible to happen. So I'm just trying to keep it like it's possible, but not probable. Let's put it that way. That's the best answer I can give there. So, See the World says, actually, a question and an answer. The email test can be used to enter the US, but not the Navica app account. Must be created and logged in before leaving the US. Okay, there you go. So there's your answer. Get everything set up before you go. How does the buffet work in the Windjammer? It's same as before. The only difference is the crew serves you. So instead of you grabbing the tongs and putting in all that wonderful Indian food, they do it for you. So, yep. Easy peasy. We got some super chats to catch up on. Hang on a second, guys. Tropical Tom Garcia. Tom, thank you for the super chat and the wonderful name. Thank you for joining us here. Always appreciate your support. And I thought, there it is, Quentin. You are very welcome, Quentin. There it is. I'm like, what happened to Quentin's message there? Thank you, Quentin. You're very, very welcome. Stephen Foster wants to know, is the drink package included with the Royal Loft Suite on the Quantum Class? If it's a star class room, the answer is yes. If it's a star class room, the answer is yes. Jose wants to know, should I buy the deluxe beverage package or the refreshment package? You want alcohol? I mean, it's really a question of, do you want alcohol? Because the deluxe beverage package includes alcohol. The Royal refreshment package does not include alcohol. So keep that in mind. Chrissy had a visit by the upgrade fairy. Well, look at you. That's I hope you played the lottery that day. I hope you enjoyed that, because that's fantastic. Paolo, hello. If I could choose my time dining and want to switch traditional time, yeah, cut off there. It's really up. It's possible, but it's up to the maitre d' if they have availability for you more than anything. But you can't hop between the two. You can't be like, well, I want to do my time on day one and traditional day two, and then go back to my time. You can't do that. But I have heard of people being able to go, from one to the other, assuming there's availability. And Christy, thank you for keeping me honest here. 45 days for the check-in time. Let's see here. Next question. Hey, Paul Thompson, thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message here, but I will keep an eye out for Paul Thompson. Appreciate it. Ashlyn says, look for Royal up for upgrades. Yeah, and that's the most likely way to get an upgrade. It's not 100%, but certainly if you're paying for it, yeah, to Ashlyn's point, there's a very good chance of that. Will Wonder of the Seas be available in the app? 100% yes. Like 180% yes. Absolutely. Kaylee wants to know, do you think you will still be requiring COVID tests in December? Obviously, no one, it's a hard question to answer, because trying to anticipate protocols 11 months from now is like, I may as well give you winning lottery numbers. I have probably a better chance of guessing those right than giving you accurate information here. I would say this. I would be absolutely shocked if it wasn't. I think the COVID protocols are here to stay for quite a while. Forever? Probably not. But 11 months from now, I just, if we've learned anything from COVID over the last 2 years, it's that just when we think maybe it's going away, it comes back. And I think look at what cruising was like in November versus December, and that's why I'm a little pessimistic that they will go away, Kaylee. So yeah. Let's see here. KB is here. Hello, KB. 98 days till our back-to-back on Symphony. Fantastic. Rodney wants to know, would I pick Coco Key and Nassau or Coco Key in a sea day? Well, you know what's funny, Rodney? I don't know, amusing more than haha funny is a lot of people treat Nassau like a sea day anyway. I mean, generally speaking, I prefer Cocoa Key and Nassau because maybe I want to get off the ship, maybe I don't want to get off the ship, but I like having the choice, right? And certainly you can stay on board the ship and the pool will be less crowded on Nassau Day than it would be on a sea day. So from that standpoint, there's I think that makes actually a lot of sense. So I guess I would pick Nassau and Cocoa Key, but for a lot of people, they treat Nassau like a sea day anyway. So, yep. Madison wants to know, on Oasis, do you have to wear a mask when skating on the ice rink or in the workout room? Yes and yes. That's one of the changes. Actually, you would have always been wearing the mask even before Omicron, ice skating. But the workout room, they are still doing that. When I was on Navigator, they had signs up to wear your mask while you're working out. Ken Sloan wants to know, when on traveling on alert, when can you book shows? Once you're on board the ship, as soon as you connect to the Royal Caribbean Wi-Fi on the ship, you don't have to have a Wi-Fi pack. It's just connected to their Wi-Fi. Open up the app, it will work there. So there you go. Yeah, Eric, I mean, we obviously talked about this a little bit here about pre-cruise testing. I think the protocols are here to stay for a while. I mean, certainly the vaccine requirement, pre-cruise test, and mask wearing in some capacity or another is going to be here for a while. How much while? I don't pretend to know. But if you think that I really, it's my opinion because I don't know more than you guys do. Let me also put that out there because obviously I don't work for Royal Caribbean. I don't know anything else. But it is my opinion that it will not be going away certainly throughout 22. Those three things. Now, could they be scaled back a little bit? Yes. I mean, before Omicron, Royal Caribbean was waiting for January 15th so they could change the pre-cruise testing requirements, make it a little easier. But obviously that's changed with Omicron. Anyway, I think things could change. I think things could be scaled back. But to get rid of it completely, those three things, mask wearing, vaccine requirements, and pre-cruise testing, I personally don't see it happening before the end of the year. I could be wrong on that. I've been wrong about many things. So yeah. Let's see here. Andrew wants to know, what is the age limit for the Solarium Pool, hot tubs, bistro, and bar? 16. Michael wants to know, what is the best excursion in Nassau? I think most people say a beach day. Cabbage Beach, Junkanoo Beach, Blue Lagoon Island. There's lots of great beach days. I think really that's what you're going there for. So all right, we have a super chat coming in from Todd Cohn. Todd, thank you for the super chat, buddy. When purchasing items from the pre-cruise planner, do they apply any Crown Anchor status discounts, or are they only applied if purchasing on board? Only if purchasing on board. Yeah. So when you pre-purchase online, you're not able to stack your Crown and Anchor discount on top of that. If you wanted to do that, you'd have to wait to book it on board the ship. And oftentimes, Todd, even as a Diamond Plus member, like the drink package, it's usually the same price or cheaper for me to pre-book it before the cruise. Dennis wants to know, what's the best strategy for Royal Up? I guess make the most competitive bid you can. I would also say know your cruise. Like if there's a lot of cancellations or you think there's a lot of cancellations, maybe put that in there. But I mean, it's hard to know, Dennis, because it's a blind bid. If you and I are on the same cruise and we make the same bid, we don't know what each other bid there. There's no way to know if your bid is really good or not. Some people bid just the suggested amounts. People add on top of that. It's really tough to do there. Slot Lover wants to know, if I test positive before my cruise, will they issue me a refund? Yep, absolutely. If you test positive or anybody in your group tests positive within 14 days of your cruise, 100% refund, or they'll rebook you. No problem. Erin, thank you for the super chat. What's my favorite restaurant on Oasis? Definitely Izumi Hibachi, 150 Central Park, or Sabor. You wanted one, I gave you three. But in that order, I would say 150 Izumi Hibachi, 150 Central Park, Sabor. Those are my three choices right there. Tony. I'm not sure that'll make that work, but thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Daniel wants to know, things to consider when deciding Allure versus Odyssey. Really, what you're looking at is what's available to do on board. What activities, what shows, what dining. Those are the three considerations you should be looking at. And then, Daniel, it's a personal question. It's a subjective question. What do you prefer of those dining, entertainment, shows, things like that? Kim Oakland with a super chat. Woo! Thank you for the super chat. Coming in a little late this evening. Any idea on next cruise planner sales? Welcome. I think one is about to end today. Am I wrong on that? I know they keep extending it like 100 times. I think one what's today's date? Actually, I do know the answer. So I got to make a note to myself on this one. January 14th, Kim. January 14th. It'll be available January 14th to the 20th. So just keep that between me and you. Barb wants to know, is the key worth the extra cost? Me. No. I've tried the key pre-pandemic. I just tried it back in when did we go on that cruise? Josh, I don't know. We tried it in November. It wasn't Josh, you weren't there, but anyway, I just don't think it's. I think it sounds better than it is. We have a full review of the key at royalcaribbeanblog.com, and yeah, I just don't recommend it. I think it just sounds a lot better than it is. Hey, Sandy, does the unlimited dining package cover premium selection in the main dining room? It does not. No, it does not. Grumpy wants to know, can you describe between Voom Internet? Do I really need surf and stream versus regular surf? Get surf and stream. Surf and basically what they're doing with the regular surf package, they're throttling it down. They're artificially making it slower so you can't do certain things. Even if you're not going to be watching video, it's just a faster internet experience and a better internet experience to get surf and stream. So I think it is worth paying a little bit extra for the surf and stream. 12th man proud. Woo! Holy moly. Thank you for the amazing. Can't believe it. It's so good. You want to slap your grandma super chat. Thank you, 12th man proud. If you have Sky Class on Wonder, does the Sweet Concierge reach out to you before the arrival still? Yes. Yeah, Sky is the middle one, right? There's Sea, Sky, and Star. Yes, absolutely. They will reach out to you about, I don't know, a week or so before your cruise. Absolutely. Yep. Next question is from, and by the way, of course, 12th man, thank you for your generosity. Richard, is not having a smartphone a problem? No, I would argue you're putting yourself at a disadvantage, especially during check-in, but it's not a problem. Like, to me, a problem means like, they're going to be like, Richard, you can't come on sir, come step over here. You've got a problem. I wouldn't go that far, but I would say that it's really useful. Sorry about the notifications, guys. I would say it's really useful for you to have it just for check-in and put the phone away while you're on board the ship. That's totally fine. So don't feel like you have to have your phone with you all the time on board the ship. I certainly do, because this might come as a shock to you. I know, a bit of a geek. I know, behind this Brad Pitt veneer, it's like total nerd city in here. I know. Some people are like, what? This guy, the definition of cool? I know, it's shocking, but I gotta be honest with you guys. So Sarish wants to know, does Zoomy only open for dinner? No, they actually open for lunch quite often. Sharon Stockman, thank you for the super chat, Sharon. Appreciate it. I have a correction from last week. Brewed tea is in Portside Barbecue, not Playmakers. Oh, okay. I've been putting it. I had been up all night putting our ice melt in Alabama. Oh, right. Okay. Now I understand, like the ice melting, right? So you don't. Yeah, I get it. Had 4 seasons in first 5 days of the year. Well, thank you for the correction there, and of course, Sharon, as always, thank you for your generosity. I really appreciate it. Robert, thank you for the super chat. Can you use your CPass cards for the casino? Absolutely. You can charge things on there. Absolutely. There's a fee to it. If you do it at a table, at a slot machine, they don't charge you a fee for some strange reason. But yeah, you can absolutely use that. In fact, when you go to gamble, whether it's at a slot machine or the tables, they're going to ask you for your CPass card so you can keep track of your points and whatnot. So, Mission Gaming wants to know, what are the best activities, things to do in Independence? Grease, the Broadway musical. Checking out the helipad. That's a lot of fun. Playmakers, the Bamboo Room. Those are 2 awesome lounges on board. The great live music on there. I mean, I love the Schooner Bar. I love the pub. I mean, there's just really great live entertainment on the Independence of the Seas. So don't miss out on any of that. And of course, you've got the amazing pool deck on there. It's a lot of fun on there. Oh, by the way, going back about 33 minutes ago when Jeff asked me the question, differences between Navigator and Mariner, I completely forgot. They have different water slides on both ships, and Mariner has the sky pad. Navigator does not. That's another change right there. I think the water slides are better on Navigator than Mariner. I personally prefer them. They're both good, don't get me wrong. But I like the water slides on Navigator more than Mariner, but Navigator doesn't have the sky pad. So, yep. Alex wants to know, are the activities on Odyssey always packed, like North Star Ripcord and VR, and where did I miss them? Yeah, they're very much in high demand, especially with COVID, Alex. There's less capacity than there was pre-COVID, so you're going to be a lot more competition for you to work with that. So, Diane, we're boarding Freedom on a week from today. Any news to make me worried about it not going? No, have a great time. Enjoy. You'll have a great time. Todd Cohn, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Do you think the main dining room food quality, temperature, etc. suffers with my time versus traditional due to lack of scheduled food prep and delivery from the galley? I don't. I mean, I've not done any scientific research on it, Todd. I think it. I don't have any reason to believe there's a direct correlation. I know what you're asking, but no, I don't believe there's a direct correlation between if you're in my time, your soup is going to be a little chillier than it would be if you were in traditional. This is not the galley's first rodeo. They've been around the block a few times with this, so I think you're okay on that one. Hey, Wu Tang, does Welcome do a gluten-free, dairy-free menu on request? Absolutely. Just talk to the head waiter on board. You'll have no problem at all. No problem at all. Next question is from Grumpy NV. Thank you, Grumpy NV, for the super chat. Woo! Lemon character bowing his head while spreading hearts with his arms. Hearts. Thank you, my friends. Really appreciate it. Can I get a free trip? Oh, you just missed it. I'm so sorry. No, I don't have any free trips to give away, but nope. Dave Grossi, thank you again for the super chat. Dave, appreciate it. There's Dave's question right down there. My son gave me a Royal Caribbean gift certificate for Christmas. Do you know what I'm permitted to use it for in the rules? Unfortunately, I hate to say it, that gift certificate, the redemption rules are annoying. I would look them up. You have to book it within a certain timeline before you're sailing to apply it. They're real pain in the butt. I would have told you if your son to come to you, I said, just give your dear old dad a check or hard cash. Anyway, read the redemption rules. I can't give them to you, but it's not like a gift card like if you get like an Amex gift card or a gift card to the Gap where you can just, here it is, I can just apply it. Like, it doesn't work that way. There's a lot of weird redemption rules to it. So, Dave, what you want to do is say thank you to your son anyway, but then look up the redemption rules and make sure you're very clear on when you can use it. Because I remember somebody actually gave me their certificate because they were like, I can't use it because it's going to expire. Like the rules are so restrictive. That's why I actually don't recommend the Royal Caribbean gift certificates that are out there. I think they're just annoyingly difficult for no reason. You don't like Teddy Ruxpin? It's the 80s corner back there. Don wants to know, can just one person in the cabin buy the refreshment package? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Madison Lee in the house. I'm a triplet with my two identical sisters. We turned 18 a couple of weeks before our cruise. What do you suggest for 18-year-old girls to do that night? Ooh, whoa. You know, you definitely came to the right place to ask a balding, aging 40-year-old what the 18-year-old should do for fun. Obviously, despite what Tony Diaz has to think, I am in tune with the current generation. I mean, I am like, synonymous with them, right? I would say a couple things coming to mind. Number one, spa day. Do the spa. Book an appointment. Don't book like there's a couples thing that doesn't help you with the triplets, but anyway, book 3 spa appointments at the same time. And I'd also do. I'm not sure what you didn't say what ship you're on. If you have a hibachi for dinner, I would do that 100%. And how about karaoke? If it's available that night, go for that. Can't drink, but at least you can have a good time singing your hearts out. So there you go. The Good Life 88. Thank you for the super chat. I've heard 2 different ways of what happens if you test positive on board. Either they confine you to your suite or they move you to the second deck. Which is it? Number 2. We actually had Good Life. We have a great insight into what happens if you test positive. Brandon, who's a YouTuber on here, he's the weekend cruiser, and he does a great job. I'm gonna put the link in the chat over here. He described it, I think, with really good detail what happens. And then I know a couple anyway, between him and other people's experiences, they do move you to a quarantine deck, which will move you out of your room. So the answer to your question, Good Life, I'm gonna post it in the chat. Please don't lose my space. Lost my spot. Hold on, backing it up. Back it up. Okay, we're good. That article I just posted in the chat should give you a really good idea of what to expect. So don't forget. Remember, guys, at worst, the worst ship that's had the most COVID cases was 2% of the entire ship, including crew members. So it's not just guests, but there were 98% of the people on board did not get COVID. I know there's a lot of negative media attention right now with COVID and cases on board. Okay. Remember, anywhere between 98 and 99% of the passengers and crew combined are not catching COVID. So just keep that in mind, and when you look at it that way, rather than trying to focus on the few cases that are on there. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah. Our next question, I think I missed a super chat. There it is. The Teresa McChain. Thank you, Teresa, again for the super chat. First time Ultimate Dining package coming up. So another question. I know they make your first night reservation. Can the rest be made up on the app, or do you need to do in person? All in person. Don't forget that first reservation they make, you can change that as well. But it's all done in person, Teresa. Basically, you get on board the ship. You can go to, sometimes there's a desk, like you'll walk on the promenade and you'll see, a little desk that says, dining reservation, something like that. You could go there. You can go to any specialty restaurant and they can book any other specialty restaurant as well. So just take care of that when you get on board the ship. I usually do, Teresa. What I do, I get on board the ship, I eat lunch because I don't want to get hangry. And then I'll go to a specialty restaurant, book a reservation, and ask them, hey, can you also make some other reservations for me while I'm here? Because they have access. Each specialty restaurant has access to the other specialty restaurants' reservations. So there you go. What are my chances of my January 23rd sailing on Oasis happening? I mean, very, 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 very good. Remember, 3 ships were canceled, and that was only because the crew members, Royal Caribbean wants to make sure their crew members are taken care of. It's not like you or I who can, the joke that's been said is, is the captain can clean the dishes, but the dishwasher can't captain the ship, right? There's only so much. It doesn't quite work both ways. So, they're going to make sure they're going to take care of their crew members first and foremost, which I respect a lot for Royal Caribbean for doing that. They're a business. They're in here to make money, but at the same time, they understand there are people here at play, and they want to make sure they're making the safest decisions possible. But I do believe your cruise on Oasis is a pretty good chance of happening. So, hey, Mr. Joe Mock, checking in with a super chat. No questions. Just been a while since I'm able to listen live. I just want to say thank you. Well, I appreciate it, Joe. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Linus Teresa wants to know, can I use a gift card from Starbucks on board? You can use it to pay. You can use a Starbucks gift card at a Starbucks kiosk to pay for your drink, and you'll earn Starbucks stars for it, Teresa, but you cannot redeem a reward. Like if you have a free drink coming, you can't redeem it, but you can absolutely use it to pay. Yep. Let's see here. Oh, Jamie wants to know, can you use onboard card for next cruise? You cannot. It needs to be charged to a credit card. In fact, Jamie, if you go to next cruise to book another cruise, they're going to ask you, should I charge you the credit card on file or a different credit card? So yeah, it needs to be a credit card there. Katrina, if you test good, do you test before or the day of the cruise? If you're fully vaccinated, you can test up to 2 days before your cruise, Katrina. So you've got the day of your cruise, which you don't count. You could do that on the day of your cruise if you wanted to, but you could do it then, the day before, or 2 days before your cruise would be fine. So, yep. Well, Subzippo, I just want to expand on this a little bit. I think I know what you're saying, but remember, guys, a couple things to keep in mind. Some fact check, reality check when it comes to if you had COVID on board. Number one, if you caught COVID on board, yes, you'll be moved to a different room for quarantine, right? They'll test anybody else who's had close contact. If they're positive, same thing happens. Number two, you will not the ship will not be denied entry back into the United States. Royal Caribbean and all the cruise lines have agreements with every home port that they sail from, that there are health agreements in place. This is actually one of the major components to the conditional sail order, that basically what happened in 2020 when you had those ships over in Japan that were, and maybe Australia as well, that were not allowed to, like, they were like, we're not taking anybody off the ship. You guys are stuck on there. That will never happen again. They have agreements for that to be the case. So just keep that in mind when, I think you know that, but I thought this was a good opportunity to talk about that as well, because some people, I still think, unfortunately, they still think that's possible, that you could be on a ship and be stuck at sea. That will not happen. Certainly, some ports may deny you entry, like to visit for the day, but your actual home ports are legally obliged to let them back, and they have agreements for that stuff. Nancy Bird, thank you for the super chat. On our back-to-back, we will become Diamond Plus during the first week. Will we get the extra benefits the second week? Yes. What you want to do, Nancy, is on on the first sailing, speak to the loyalty ambassador on board. Let them know what's happening. They'll hook you up for cruise number 2. If you tell them. If you don't do anything, it won't work for you. So Anna is leaving on Harmony of the Seas April 10th. The husband uses an oxygen machine at night. Do you know if it has to be under a certain size? I would say this, Anna. The only thing I tell you is fill out the special needs form. If you Google Royal Caribbean special needs form, fill that out. I would do that. I think you need to do it like, I forget if it's 45 days, 60 days, something like that. But fill out that form. I would do that actually after this video, just to be safe. Google Royal Caribbean special needs form. It's an interactive form, and I believe there's an oxygen option for you on there. So I would fill that out. Hey, Don Morse, thank you, my friend. I really appreciate your generosity. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is there a curfew for adults? There isn't a curfew for adults, right? Well, if it's my wife, then I have a curfew. But no, there is no ship-wide curfew. There's a curfew for kids under, I think it's 18, but no, not for adults. Does Harmony have playmakers? It does not. It has Sabor instead. Steven wants to know, any idea how they stretch out entertainment on Wonder? In general for transatlantics, they'll add extra show times. They might even let some performers do some more things in there. But no, they kind of just do their best, and it's not their first time working with it. I would say this, Stephen. Look at a past cruise compass from transatlantics. We keep an archive of them at royalcaribbeanblog.com. And you'll get a pretty good idea, especially for other Oasis class ships, how they stretch the entertainment, so to speak. So let's see. Project Lou wants to know, can I do an antigen test instead of a PCR? If you're fully vaccinated, the answer is yes. Yes, you can. It's either or for that. If you're non-vaccinated, basically if you're a kid under the age of 12 that's unvaccinated, then you would need to do only a PCR test. Charles wants to know, can you talk about the process you recently had with Star Class, mainly experience with the Royal Genie? We actually have a full video about that, Charles, that I posted about a couple weeks ago here on our YouTube channel. But essentially, I loved it. It was interesting. It was amazing. It was really cool having that level of service. I mean, it's just having a Genie, if you're staying in the Royal Star Class, which is the top tier suite experience on board a Oasis class or Quantum class ship, you get a Royal Genie, which is like a combination butler / concierge / wishmaker. And the Royal Genie, what's interesting, the reason I say it's interesting is it's kind of like a little bit of discovery. There's a little bit of a fog of war because they certainly give you a baseline of things they can do, but there's way more than that. And so it's a lot of just remembering to ask, like, can I do this? Can I do that? Can I do that? And I remember doing things on the first couple of days of the cruise, and people were like, Matt, why are you doing this yourself? Have the Genie do it for you. It didn't occur to me that was what was to do. So there's a little bit of a learning experience, a little bit of a learning curve in terms of like taking full advantage of what the Genie has to offer, but it was incredible. Sorry, there's like something floating around over here. Let's see here. Daniel, thank you for the super chat. Will Royal Caribbean ever add a coaster like Carnival? Ever? I don't know. The cruise lines obviously understand what they're doing, what each one does, and they do. Cruise lines copy each other, but they also don't always copy each other. Some things become like signature, like Flow Rider, things like that. So anything's possible. Sandy, what's the price of the drink package of purchase? Depends. The price of the drink package varies from ship to ship, sailing to sailing. I've seen prices as low as $40-something a person per day, and as high as $70-something per person per day. It really depends, quite frankly. So, Told Man says main dining room cannot make or cancel specialty dining. Yeah, that's true. It's other specialty restaurants. So, yep. Terry is going to give away a free cruise to the millionth subscriber of this channel. I don't think that's what he meant, but that's okay. Diana wants to know, what are the top five items you would want to have on a Mexican Riviera cruise? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Diana. Like, you say items. You mean ports? You mean things to bring on board? I'm not sure I understand your question. Let's see here. Hey, Diana, checking in from Australia. Good day, mate. You're also lucky to cruise Royal Caribbean won't return until October. Booked on short local cruise on Radiance. Hope it happens. Yeah, unfortunately, this is all on your local government there, Diana. Royal Caribbean and all the cruises, I'm sure, would love to return to Australia. But yeah, I hope you guys are able to get on a ship. I really hope that they're able to have a season next year for you guys. Stephen, this is a really good question. Stephen says, what do you think about the environmental factor impact of Royal Caribbean cruising? I want to go, but the more research, the more bad facts I discover. The bad facts you're discovering a lot of times are twofold, right? I'm not saying here to tell you that the cruise lines and Royal Caribbean are, Boy Scouts and they do nothing wrong, but the cruise industry has cleaned up its game a lot. So a lot of the facts you're discovering, number one, are things that maybe are rooted in the past, and certainly not every line is the same. So oftentimes detractors will usually cite this one ship did that, and it makes it seem like the whole industry does it, which is not the case. Number two, the detractors. There's a lot of people who like to paint the cruise industry in a negative light for whatever reason, even though they've never been on a cruise before. And, unfortunately, uh, you know, no industry or very few industries, if any, at this point are neutral, zero carbon, zero emission, anything like that. But the cruise industry is committed, especially Royal Caribbean, to making their industry as safe as possible, as clean as possible with their various environmental programs that are out there, right? Yes, their ships burn diesel. And yes, their ships generate waste, but they don't just dump their waste anywhere they want. They follow maritime regulations. There's very strict rules about it. And they do their best to absolutely adhere to those rules. And they work with environmental groups like the World Wildlife Fund to ensure that what they're doing, their operations are supporting things. At the end of the day, the ocean is where they make their money. It does them absolutely no good to have the oceans in a poor state of condition. That would detract from their business. So it's literally in their best interest to make that happen. Again, just like the airlines, you have airplanes and they take off and there's jet fuel behind them and you've got exhaust coming out of there, just like cars, it's not 100% clean, but the industry is committed to moving that way. In fact, Royal Caribbean recently announced an initiative, I think it's I don't remember if it's 2030 or 2050, but to be carbon neutral by that point. I forget exactly the date, excuse me. I don't remember the one. But I would just simply say the old adage, don't believe everything you read on the internet. There is some truth to it. Certainly the industry they don't have a perfect record. I'm not here to say that, everything you read is incorrect. It's not true at all. But I think a lot of cases, things have either been skewed, bent, or otherwise misconstrued as to the reality of going on a cruise today and its environmental impact there. They're very cognizant of these things. And I absolutely believe that they are acting not only in their own best interest as a company, but also they're looking at this as, this is our world we live in. We want to make sure we're taking care of that. So, yeah. Robert wants to know, are the pools heated? Yep, by the sun. They're heated by the sun. They're not heated otherwise. No, unfortunately not. Let's see. The check-in wants to know, how did the Star Class how did COVID restrictions affect the Star Class treatment? Same exact experience everybody had. The one difference, which was really nice, was when they were unvaccinated at the time of the cruise. When they went to go get at the end of a cruise over 5 nights, unvaccinated kids have to get a test by the end of the cruise. Our Genie was able to get us in to cut the line and get the test done quickly, which is really, really nice. So, JP, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. I will keep an eye out for your question if there is one here, but otherwise, thank you for your generosity. Fabian, 74 days till Wonder the Seas, can't wait, but I'm very worried that we'll cancel due to Omicron. What do you think? I don't think it's going to, I think that, no, I don't think you should worry about it. Is it a possibility? Yeah, of course. I'm not here to tell you there's 100%. There's not a 100% chance your cruise will happen, but that doesn't mean there's a 1% chance your cruise will happen. I think there's a very, very good chance your cruise will happen. Remember, the media loves to make it look like it's way worse than it is. They thought, oh my goodness, 3 ships canceled for a couple of weeks. Ooh, right? That's their thing. Whatever. I don't agree with it, but meanwhile, the rest of the ships are able to go. So keep that in mind. Keep perspective in terms of what's happening there. Let's see. Did I miss JP's question? I'm sorry. Oh, here's JP's question. JP put the question before the super chat. Have they been going to Labadee lately? No, they've not gone to Labadee since cruises restarted. They've not been there yet, and there's no plans, as I'm aware of, to go there. Dino, what ship is larger, Odyssey or Wonder? Wonder. Wonder will be the largest cruise ship in the world when she arrives. Hey, Thomas, sailing on Harmony this Sunday. Got the refreshment package. Will that get me Smoothies at Vitality? As long as there is no, protein powder in it, the answer is yes. P and K, welcome. First time Diamond Plus member, but wanted to say thanks for the blog and the valuable information. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Would I pick Harmony or Anthem for December? You're asking I would pick Harmony, but that's only because, well, maybe I'd pick Anthem because I've been on Harmony more recently. I prefer Harmony over Anthem just for personal preference reasons, but they're both great ships. If you've not been on either, then pick Harmony. If you've been on one or the other, pick the other one. The only reason to pick Anthem over Harmony, in my opinion, among other reasons, certainly if you live in the Northeast, Gene, if you live in the tri-state area, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, even Pennsylvania, you could drive to the port. I'd pick Anthem for that reason. But if you're flying no matter what, I'd probably lean towards Harmony because it's an Oasis class ship. If you've not been on either of them, there's Oasis class and there's everything else. Alan says, do you need proof of vaccination before boarding? Yep, you got to bring your original CDC card to show them. Absolutely. Brenda, going on Symphony of the Seas, February 5th. Will it be canceled from Royal Caribbean? I don't believe so. You hear me just talk about that kind of topic in there. Generally speaking, I think there's a good chance all cruises will happen as scheduled. Just keep that in mind. Ainsley, thank you for the super chat. Hey, just coming in, scheduled March 20th on Odyssey. You think 5 to 11-year-olds will soon have to be vaccinated? I would just say that I don't know the answer, obviously. But I would also say that I would have thought if they were going to require it, they would have required it a while ago, even before, maybe at the beginning of Omicron. I don't know. But I don't see them doing it because, again, their commitment to family cruising. Before Omicron, Ainsley, in November, I heard both Michael Bailey and Richard Fain, who are the top executives at Royal Caribbean, talk about this specific question. They danced around it. But my general gist of it was they weren't going to require it in the short term. And by the short term, I mean, the next couple months. Certainly anything can happen. But I think as of right now, I don't see them making that change. Logically, they would have made the change already. We're knee deep in Omicron, right? We would have, if you're going to do it, that would have been the time to do it. But yeah. What's up, John? I thought you were on Independence Disease right now eating Playmakers nachos after seeing Instagram. What makes you think I'm not on Instagram? What makes you think I'm not on Independence? This could all be a virtual background. I'm really on here. Actually, Jenna, our YouTube editor, is on board Independence of the Seas today. She got on board. So no, you're not the first person to ask me. Are you on a cruise today? I'm not on a cruise today. What kind of monopolies in the corner? Royal Caribbean Monopoly. This was a giveaway they gave to travel agents on Independence of the Seas in 2018. I bought it on eBay. It's not available to purchase like from Royal Caribbean or Warner Brothers, whatever the company is that makes Monopoly. Milton Bradley, is that who it is? Anyway, basically there's some copies floating around on eBay you got to purchase. So, Erin, thank you for the super chat. Any experience using Shipmate to book excursions? No, I've not used them at all. Ben, do you have a daily routine for searching what's going on in Royal Caribbean world? How do you keep myself of even the most minute nuggets of information? I have a bit of a routine. Also, I'll be perfectly honest with you, Ben. I'm very lucky. A lot of folks like yourselves share information with me. I get a message from Josh Carruthers. Hey, Matt, did you hear this? But, I browse around the internet. A combination of, people letting me know about stuff I discover on my own, Googling, you never know. But there is a routine, to some extent, yes. But a lot of times people just key me in on it. I'm like, hey, did you hear? Or I just got this email kind of thing. So very, very lucky for this wonderful community. Nick wants to know, when can I check in for the app? 45 days before your cruise, Nick. You can actually find the exact date when it opens up. Go to the Royal Caribbean app right now, go to your reservation, and where you would be able to check in, it will say your check-in opens on whatever date it is. And then basically you just do all this stuff through the app. It's just like checking in for an airline. I mean, you have a few more things you have to enter in there, but it's pretty straightforward and very, very easy if you ask me. PNK, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. I don't see your message here, but if that was your question earlier, well, thank you very much. Slow Runner wants to know, do you think Royal Caribbean will start offering adult-only sailings? 100% no. I don't. I will say this, and I don't know more than you do, Slow Runner. I absolutely 100% certainty believe they will never do that. Certainly not unless it's charter or something. They're a family cruise line. David, thank you for the super chat. Allure in 6 days, first-time cruiser, and a 170 cruise expert. Oh, I see. So first-time cruiser and somebody who has 170 points or 170 nights. Anyway, mostly care about the onboard entertainment activities. Thoughts? Right now, there's a possibility that certain activities, there'll be less activities and entertainment to do. It's all about the crew members and if they're healthy or not, right? It's the reality of cruising right now. I've written a couple articles about this. You have to be a little bit flexible when it comes to this. There's a possibility that a certain show or activity will not be offered because they don't have the manpower for it. They're short-staffed right now due to COVID issues with crew members. So I will only tell you, David, that it's possible that you will be able to see every show, or possibly you won't be able to see every show, but Royal will try to, put on what they can. My other advice, something else I've written about, is maybe plan more like worst case scenario and maybe plan to spend more time on the pool deck or bring an extra book or stream a movie. Actually, we were on Navigator this week, David. One night we're like, well, there's not really any shows tonight that we want to see. And let's change it up. We actually streamed Hawkeye on Disney Plus in our room, and that's what we did. It was fun. I mean, listen, we don't need like a hopping party every single night. So, that's what we did. But the point is, maybe plan a little more backup options just in case. But the reality is, and I got to be honest with you, David, there's a possibility that you will not have all the shows performed on board. It just really depends on the crew members. So, I got this question. Thank you. Sorry, David. Same question there. Lisa, thank you for this. Thanks for the comment. Selling Odyssey in 2 weeks. If we test positive towards the end of the cruise, will they make us quarantine in a hotel in Florida? Will they private jet us home? I'm not sure what happens on the end of the cruise. I can tell you this, Lisa. When the person that I posted the article earlier in our chat, and I'll post it again because why not? When Brandon did it, he got it on the last day. He tested positive on the last day of the cruise, and they, in Brandon's case, I lost my place in chat here. Sorry. There it is. Nope. Yeah, there it is. In Brandon's case, they escorted him off the ship and into his car, and then he drove home to quarantine at home. So that was Brandon's experience right there. We got only, wow, we're over an hour. So I'm just going to catch up really quick here on the super chats. Maurice, thank you for the super chat, buddy. March 20th, Harmony of the Seas paid for excursions already for Labadee. Will they refund? Yeah, if they don't go, you'll get a refund for them. I did the same thing, Maurice. On our Wonder of the Seas, we're supposed to go to Labadee, and I'm like, I know I'm just spending money. I'm going to get a refund on it. But yeah, they'll refund you if you don't go. So no worries about that. Where else would you go? Possibly Coco Key, possibly a sea day, possibly somewhere else. It's just, there's no definite pattern right now. You'll 100% chance Wonder of the Seas will be ready for the Royal Caribbean app when she launches. Don't read anything into that, why she's not there yet. And Brian J, thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message here, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you to everybody for checking out our live stream here today. I do appreciate it. I know we didn't get to every single question. I'm sorry. You can always post your questions on our message boards at royalcaribbeanblog.com, or we'll do this again next Monday right here on YouTube. I want to say some thank yous to our super chatters today. So let me say some thank yous here. Brian J, thank you. Maurice, thank you. David Ulrich, thank you. We got another super chat coming in right now. Tony Diaz, thank you. Hurry up, May milk and cookies are wait. Oh, my milk and cookies are waiting. Sorry to get in your way here, Tony. Appreciate it. Tony, thank you. Brian J, thank you. Maurice, thank you. What the? Oh, there we go. Maurice, thank you. David Ulrich, thank you. PNK, thank you. Erin, thank you. Ainsley, thank you. JP, thank you. Daniel, thank you. Don Moores, thank you. Nancy Bird, thank you. Joe Mock, thank you. The Teresa McShane, thank you. Good Life 88, thank you. David Grossi, thank you. Grumpy and V, thank you. Todd Cohn, thank you. Robert Kalinich, thank you. Sharon Stockman, thank you. 12th man proud, my goodness, thank you. Kim Oakland, thank you so much. Erin, thank you. Todd Cohn, thank you. Paul Thompson, thank you. Quentin Kelly, thank you. Tropical Tom, thanks, buddy. Harvey, thank you. Barbara Tiedman, thank you very much. Gwen Mosley, thank you. 12th man proud again, thank you so much. David Grossi, thank you. Cruise Addicts, thank you. The Teresa McShane, thank you. Michael S, thank you. Grumpy, again, thank you. Jeffren, thank you. And Josh Carruthers, thank you so much. I know we had one at the very beginning that I lost who that was, and I can't see it now, but whoever that was, thank you again very much. Thank you, everybody, for checking us out here on YouTube. Again, more Royal Caribbean information waiting for you at royalcaribbeanblog.com. We got a new blog post up there today. Plenty for you to check on out over there. We'll be live again next Monday right here on YouTube. Until then, have a great rest of your week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun, and we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.